Howdy guys, Cub here. Welcome to Snapshot 18w43c. In this snapshot, guys, there's a couple of changes, and I'm also going to go over a few changes which I missed or didn't cover in the 18w48a and b snapshots. So let's go ahead and get into it. This snapshot is mostly a bug fix and performance snapshot, so they fixed a bunch of bugs, including the bugs which caused a bunch of mobs to spawn in the previous snapshot. And they also have fixed micro stuttering somewhat. It's not as bad as it was before, but as you can see as I'm flying here, there is hitches every time I cross a chunk boundary. And you can see that if I use the new Alt F3 menu, which has been changed to have the minimum and maximum and average ping times to the server, even in single player. So if I just go forward here, you'll see every time I cross a chunk border, there's that red spike. So that is indicative of micro stuttering. So they still have a ways to go on that. So that is interesting and kind of cool that they added the minimum, average, and maximum ping time. So now on to some new things from the A snapshot. Number one is with the Illager Beast. There's a couple of things I didn't show here. Namely that this guy can actually break through leaf walls. So you can see, yeah, he just goes through them and just totally destroys them. And that does cause things like saplings and sticks to drop from the leaves. So yeah, Illager Beast can plow right through leaf walls or just regular leaves. Another thing about the Illager Beast that's interesting is that if we spawn him in here and we go into survival game mode, there is actually a stun which you can perform on the Illager Beast, and that is done by simply blocking with the shield. So if we block with the shield here, he'll become stunned occasionally. Then you can hit him, and you see he does like an attack, like a shout attack right there that sort of knocks you pretty far back. So you got to be a little bit aware of that. Yeah, and you have to be a couple blocks away for the attack not to register. So I'll just show you one more time. Let's see if we can get this guy to be stunned. There he is, stunned, and then there's the attack. So it does significant knockback to the player, but that's a good way to fight the Illager Beast with a shield. Another interesting fact about Illager Beast that wasn't known when I put out the first snapshot video is that they are actually scared of rabbits. So you can see there, he's terrified of rabbit. He jumped into the air, broke some leaves, and yeah, he ran off. And if I put another rabbit down here, he runs from that rabbit. If I put one, let's say, over here, he'll run away from that one. And this does indeed work in survival as well. So if I put down a rabbit here, switch to survival game mode, you'll see the Illager Beast will run toward me, and once he sees the rabbit, he runs off. So it might be useful to have a rabbit on a lead when you try and fight the Illager Beast, because they are terrified of them and will run away in fear once they see him. Another great feature is that they have now added tags to all the items in creative mode. To see the tags, all you have to do is click on the search item bar and type in the # or the hashtag. And yeah, you can then see the tags of all the blocks. So you can see saplings have the hashtag Minecraft saplings. Leaves have the tag hashtag Minecraft leaves. And basically this allows you to search for groups of items. So let's say I wanted small flowers. I would type in small, and there we go. All the small flowers now show up, which I can then pick out and do whatever with. If I wanted, let's say, banners, I would type in hashtag ban, and there we go. All the different banner types show up. So this is just a useful way. If I wanted like wool, let's say, I can type in hashtag wool and it pulls up all the wool, and I can then select whatever I want from that. So that's just a useful way to quickly and easily search for groups of items instead of individual items. There's also a bunch of new commands that were added in the A snapshot, including the /schedule command. What this does is allows you to basically schedule functions to occur at certain times. So that's going to be really useful for map makers. There's also been a change to the /time command. So /time set or /time add will now add in integer numbers of ticks, days, or seconds. So if I type in, let's say, we want to add 10 seconds to the time. So it added 10 seconds, which is 200 ticks. So that's why it says time set 200. If I wanted to do time set, let's say we want to add half a day. If we do 0.5d, that adds half a day to the time. So half of a day is 12,000 ticks, because the whole day is 24,000 ticks. So yeah, that is pretty interesting, and yeah, a useful feature for map makers as well. Another interesting command this week is the /drop command. Basically what this does is allows you to search a list of loot tables from various sources and then put the results from that loot table into your player inventory, or just have it drop in the world, depending on like how you want it to appear in the world. So yeah, basically what you can do things like this. So here I have a zombie named Drop the Flesh, and this guy, if I run this command, which tells the game basically simulate killing an entity named Drop the Flesh one time and put it in my player inventory. And so if I run this command, boom, it drops the results of what would be me killing Drop the Flesh and puts them in my inventory right there. So if I run it again, see, I get another one. Got one rotten flesh this time instead of two. If this guy was not named Drop the Flesh, if he was named No Flesh for You instead, and then we ran the command again, see, no entity was found because he's not the right entity. Another interesting change to commands is you can now use the /replace item command to replace items in item frames. So if we typed in something like this, this will replace the acacia boat in this item frame with a iron helmet here. So there you go. Yeah, so that'll also be another tool for map makers. Additionally, there were a bunch of other things added for map makers, including a whole bunch of things like the tags that I mentioned earlier in the creative mode. You can now use those in a lot of command spaces, and you can also change the loot tables of blocks now. So let's say you wanted dirt or grass when mined to occasionally drop, let's say, like an iron ingot or a flint or a diamond. You can now do that with the loot tables for blocks, so that's pretty cool. Two other things I just want to briefly mention here that are pretty important that you guys might want to know about. Number one is that they have completely rewritten the lighting system. So the lighting system, the way it's calculated and where it's stored, is now a little bit different, and hopefully that should improve performance when there's a lot of lighting updates at one time. And finally, those of you who are fans of custom worlds and custom world generation, which was in the previous versions in 1.12 and before, will be happy to know that a lot of the biome features have now been registered and sort of cataloged, and they can now be serialized, which means that custom world generation will likely be making a comeback in the near future. Anyways, guys, those are a couple of the features from this snapshot and some which I didn't cover in the previous snapshot video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like. Be sure to subscribe, and thank you guys again for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye. Who would win in a battle? 1. Innocent Panda, or 2. Boom Boom Boys? Let's see.